One thing that I've been observing these past several years is that economists are strange people. Now, you heard from Levitt already. I'd like you to hear from one more economist. This is an Australian named Joshua Gans, who wrote a book about being a father called Parentonomics. So what you're about to hear is from an upcoming hour-long Freakonomics radio program we've made called An Economist's Guide to Parenting. And here's the story of how Joshua Gans got one of his kids to behave.
Right, so the story is this. We would go to the park, and our child, who was probably around 4, would invariably not want to leave. So we would have this big song and dance about, we have to go now, you can't keep on playing, she'd run off, it would be costly, let me put it that way. And one option was we could say, we won't go to the park very often as a solution to that, which is perhaps what occurred, but, we could never pre-negotiate this fully. When we were at the park, she was often on her own. So what we did one day is we were sitting there and she was doing it yet again, and we said, we keep threatening that we'll just leave. Why don't we get in the car and just leave? And so we say, you come, or we're going to go. We're going to get in the car and drive off. And that is actually what we did. In front of a full park full of other parents as well, we had a screaming child running after us going, no, don't leave me, exactly to get that message across. Now, to be sure, while that might have not been obvious to the other parents standing there, and I'll tell you it was a tough thing for us to do, there was another family at the park who was going to at least watch out that she didn't do something silly as a result of this, like run onto a road or something like that. So we weren't totally crazy, but then again, we did drive off, leaving our child thinking she'd been left behind.
What happened? And what happened the next time that she wanted to stay at the park longer?
Never ever happened again. Never ever had another problem. Perfectly well behaved.
Sadism works.
At some point, you've got to raise the price enough. You've got to be credible. I mean, that's the dispassionate economist says you do what it takes. I guess I become some hardline hawk in that regard. So occasionally we break from social mores, but we only had to do it once.
Doesn't that just warm your heart? There's more from Joshua Gans and other economists in our upcoming parenting special on Freakonomics Radio. So if nothing else on this Father's Day, you can be thankful that your father is not an economist. And if your father is an economist, well, then